right now in my career, a lot of people like boost this, boost that, boost this. You know, fighting boost is a lose-lose situation. You know, I win, they're gonna say, oh well, he was young, he wasn't ready. You know, he was talented, he was skillful, but you got the experience over him. You got, you know, so much more than this kid that never been tested before. It's gonna sell a little bit because of your name and what you just accomplished. You know, but now what? I'm looking for big challenges. You know, I'm trying to go up in weight and fight Charlo. You know, because that's something that's history in the making. It's a lot at stake. You know, there's nothing really at stake with fighting boots. You know, I'm at the tail end of my career, and I'm trying to make things make sense.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Does Jaron Boots Ennis deserve a Terence Bud Crawford match and title shot? Breadman Edwards believes so, and I want to talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Breadman, he had some statements to Fight Hype in a recent interview. He says, quote, being ready doesn't always mean that you're going to win. It does mean that you are ready for your opportunity. I think Boots deserves the opportunity. Somebody had to give Terence Crawford an opportunity, and somebody had to give Errol Spence an opportunity. I think he deserves the opportunity. He continues, now whether he gets with one of those guys, I don't know, because usually guys fight guys around their same age genre. They don't usually fight guys that much younger than them. You rarely see that, especially a guy that's talented, but this notion that he's not ready is ridiculous. He's right at age 26. Crawford and Errol were about 26, 27 when they got their title shot, and Boots had way more fights than they had when they got their title shot. So of course he's ready. I'm not saying he could beat Terence Crawford. What Terence Crawford did the other night was just remarkable, but I think Boots deserves and has earned his title shot, whether it be with any of those guys or anybody else, but he deserves a title shot. Terence and Boots, that's 50-50, because just because what happened to Errol doesn't mean that can happen to Boots. And as special as Terence was, you don't know he's going to be that remarkable again. That was just like he was in the zone. It was a monster performance, and the guy we did see fight a perfect fight, you don't see him fight them back to back to back to back like that, and that was the perfect fight, end quote. Now, I love what Breadman said here. I mean, the point about Errol Spence and Crawford, someone had to give him a shot, is similar to a point that I brought up. I used this example before because we always see this. You get guys who are like developing this aura or this boogeyman type of following, and they're like cult favorites with boxing fans, and everybody wants to see someone fight Rigondeaux or Jaron Ennis, or at a time it was Errol Spence, or at a time it was Keith Thurman, and you're begging for someone, David Benavidez, as super middleweight. You just want to see someone like a Canelo take him on if you can beat him, but then the fans will just say, oh no, Canelo would destroy Benavidez. But I don't want to hear a fan tell me what will happen. I want Canelo or a big name like Triple G to show us that will happen. You know, beat Andrade or whoever the boogeyman is at that moment. But I've used this example before. When I first turned 18, I had zero credit history, and I have great parents, so they never did no bullshit and then put my name on a bill and then was delinquent on that. My family didn't do that, even though I know people or relatives that they did that. They put somebody, you know, put the house or put the cable, Comcast cable bill in their kid's name and social security number, and it comes back to haunt. So we didn't have anything like that growing up. So when I turned 18, I had a completely blank slate. I had zero credit history. I've never had a credit card. So I would apply for credit cards, and then back in the day, you apply a lot of times in the stores, like I was applying for a Macy's card, And then it would print out this receipt and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, you did not get approved. We'll send you a letter in 7 to 10 days explaining why. And then every time I would apply, the couple times that I'll apply for a Target card or Macy's or whatever, I would get this letter in the mail and get denied. And it says insufficient credit history. And I remember being an 18-year-old man and just wondering, being young and saying, that's kind of bogus. How can I ever prove that I'm a responsible person, that I can accept this loan and pay it back and establish credit history, which everybody was saying was so important? How can I prove to myself and prove to the credit lender that I can pay this bill back and I'll be responsible if they won't give me a chance? I remember thinking that, like, this is kind of dumb. I'm getting denied. I'm applying for a credit card history, but you're denying me because I have no credit history. But eventually it was Macy's. I think it was Macy's was my first credit card. They finally approved me. You know, I got a car and they finally approved me. They seen that I was paying my car note, and they approved me. And then immediately after, I started getting a ton of credit card offers in the mail. Oh, you've been pre-approved. Get this credit card. Because they seen I had been establishing credit and good faith with my card note and also with my Macy's card. And I was paying it back on time. Then they would eventually raise the credit balance, and the rest is history. Now I have credit history. But the point I'm making in this analogy is it took for Macy's to give me my first credit card to give me a chance to prove that I could pay for a credit card responsibly and I wouldn't go delinquent and, you know, default on the payment and have a bunch of late fees and get the account closed and all that. So that's the same thing with these fighters. Guys like Jaron Boots Ennis, some of the fans are like, oh, Terence Crawford would batter him. I mean, we don't really know that. Crawford is a beast. He showed he was a beast. And Jaron Ennis is a different fighter. Jaron Ennis is not Errol Spence's age. I do think he has an extreme weight cut, but he's at age 26. So his body is able to cope with and bounce back and rejuvenate and replenish from such a weight class, versus Errol Spence had been at the weight for 10, 11 years or whatever since he was a young man, probably when he was in high school. And I think that definitely had a part in how flat he looked. You know, Crawford is Crawford, so he's going to always do what Crawford. It looks like in that 24 hours after the weigh-in, Crawford did a better job of recovering and replenishing, and his body was able to snap back. Errol Spence just looked dry and flat and almost lifeless in the fight. We've never seen him look quite that, like 2 left feet, but it is what it is. So I do agree with Breadman here. Jaron Ennis is a completely different fight. And just because, like, what's the point of competition if Crawford beats the number 1A and 1B? They were the number 1A and 1B guy. So because he beats him, then we never have to see anything again. I mean, that's like Canelo Alvarez. He beat Caleb Plant and he proved that he was undisputed. So is that where the buck stops? Canelo don't have to fight no one else good for the rest of his career? Or does he still have to fight Charlos and Benavidez? So I don't really understand the energy from the Bud Buddies that every time Boots' name is mentioned, they're acting like it's a crime. Like we haven't watched guys who were lesser talented, at least from the eye test, that Crawford has fought. I mean, Crawford, his whole career, myself included, we've looked at his resume and said, mid. You know, a lot of these guys were mid or didn't go on to do great things. And we see Boots and he looks exceptional. Of course, people are going to want to see the fight, especially when you devastate Errol Spence in such a fashion. Some people don't even want to see the Errol Spence rematch. So who is he going to fight? I mean, unless, my thing is this, if Crawford feels he's done everything and 2X undisputed, then retire. But if you're going to be an active fighter, people still want to see you in great fights, despite a great performance. And that's the thing when you're an athlete, when you're Tom Brady or you're Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant, doesn't matter that you got a ship. It doesn't matter that you got a ring. There's a great Kobe Bryant interview, which is one of my idols. And Kobe Bryant was like, I like winning and I like losing. Of course, winning feels good and losing doesn't. But at the end of the day, you got to get up the next day and deal with the embarrassment and put, shoes on and put your pants on and do it all again. So that's the mentality that I think boxing needs. But for whatever reason, you have boxing fans who act like they don't want to see great fights anymore because Crawford, won the big one or the big fish That doesn't make sense to me. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Ego thoughts, I'm the best in the business. That was a freestyle like all my videos, and I'll make it look easy. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.